Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, the manhunt continues for Dominic Connelly, the man who again is accused of killing his grandmother and setting fire to her home. Now again, this has been ongoing for about 3 days now, this manhunt. And schools are facing another day of disruption as law enforcement searches for Connelly. The 24-year-old has been on the run since this past Saturday when deputies discovered the man's grandmother, 72-year-old Patricia Lopedote, dead inside her burned-down home outside of Havelock. Now, Wednesday night, Connelly was confronted by a Craven County deputy inside a Vanceboro restaurant. That confrontation led to a struggle that officials say saw the deputy stabbed in the leg and Connelly taking off on foot. Since then, there's been a saturation of law enforcement in the Vanceboro area searching for the man through the use of canines, a helicopter, drones, infrared technology, and other agencies. After seeing school canceled on Thursday, Vanceboro Farm Life Elementary, West Craven Middle School, and West Craven High School will learn remotely today. As for Halloween, Sheriff Chip Hughes on Thursday discouraged festivities in the Vanceboro area, saying that Connelly could use it as an opportunity to blend in and possibly hurt someone else. He says that folks should lay low on Halloween. Quote, "It's just very unfortunate. This criminal has brought this to this community, but we're going to deal with it. I can tell you that there will be a heavy law enforcement presence during Halloween, as there is with every Halloween. But we're going to have extra deputies, extra law enforcement officers out throughout the county, a heavy presence here in Vanceboro because we still believe that he is in the area," end quote. Now, Connelly is currently wanted for murder, first-degree arson, and larceny of a motor vehicle. He now faces the additional charges of attempted first-degree murder, felony assault on a law enforcement officer, and causing serious injury and resisting a public officer. And now we want to turn our attention to the ongoing government shutdown, which is in its 5th week, with its 6th week coming up on Monday. NBC's Ryan Nobles has more on any sort of progress being made towards ending the shutdown.
Overseas trip, President Trump this morning putting pressure on Republicans to end the shutdown. Posting overnight, it's now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card, calling for an approach they've resisted so far, the so-called nuclear option, which would allow Republicans to pass bills with a simple majority rather than the 60 votes which requires them to work with Democrats. Both sides have been resistant to that move in the past, fearing it gives the majority party too much power.
The 60-vote threshold has protected this country.
It comes as the shutdown is now entering its 31st day. Members of the military were set to miss a paycheck today, but the White House announcing it will move around $5 billion in federal funds to make sure they're still paid. Still, many federal workers struggling, some filing for unemployment for the first time, with more than 8,800 filed new claims last week alone, according to the Labor Department data reviewed by NBC News. Food banks in demand in Washington, D.C. and throughout the country. At the stroke of midnight on Saturday, the federal government is scheduled to halt all SNAP food assistance.
Without SNAP, it's going to be hard to find food that's able to feed us.
It's a problem members of Congress recognize, but fail to have an answer for.
You're messing with people's lives. That is outrageous.
Instead, the two sides engaged in a high-stakes blame game. Democrats pushing to pass a standalone bill to extend SNAP benefits, arguing the administration must release billions in already approved contingency funds. Republicans dismissing the bill as political theater, but Democrats argue that the country is on the verge of a healthcare crisis, and backing down will cause even more damage.
The talks will go nowhere if Republicans remain completely intransigent and resistant to any compromise on extending the health care coverage.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast. It's looking like a sunny Halloween outside right now, and well, that sunshine will carry over through the first weekend of November. Do want to say good afternoon to Amanda Bloom. Thank you so much for tuning in from Maysville and Jacksonville. Cool wind right now, completely agree. 7 to 15 mile an hour winds are coming along with the clear and sunny skies. The cloud cover we're seeing further back towards the west across the mountains will not be making its way across the east. The mountains are going to do a great job of kind of soaking up any sort of moisture associated with that cloud cover. Here's a look at what we've got outside right now in Washington. Overlook at the Pamlico River, 58 degrees. Westerly wind, 12 miles an hour. And it is sunny. Lots of sunshine for today, tomorrow, and even Sunday, appropriately. But air temperature is really not going to be getting quite as warm as what many of you would expect to see on a sunny weekend in October. Now, granted, it's the end of October right now, and we'll get into November coming up tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. But still, looking at low to mid 60s for daytime highs over the next few days. Right now, that's kind of where we're at. Upper 50s to low 60s across most of eastern North Carolina. That is your current air temperature at noon. We usually see our hottest temperature of the day right around 3 p.m. So we've got a few more hours of heating, but it's going to be difficult to get too warm when we've got more of a west-northwesterly breeze. Yesterday, we had a west-southwesterly wind, and that helped boost air temperatures up into the upper 60s. Some areas even made it into the low 70s. This afternoon, probably not going to be seeing that. Maybe looking at the mid 60s, but even that feels like a bit of a stretch. I anticipate most of us ending up between around 62 to 65 degrees for our daytime high today. Now, rain showers not a part of the forecast for this evening. If you're doing any trick-or-treating, I'm hoping many of you are. As certainly the Ironmonger family has too many bags of candy, and we're looking to dish them out. 55 degrees for your average temperature for trick-or-treating. If you're closer to I-95 or closer to the Virginia line, you may end up more in the low 50s, while those of you watching closer to the Crystal Coast and the Outer Banks likely going to be trick-or-treating in the upper 50s. Regardless, everyone is going to be cold tomorrow morning. Starting out the day in the upper 30s throughout most of the region. Could possibly see some frost for those of you watching closer to I-95. It's again going to warm up, but it's not really going to get all that warm. Looking at the low 60s for tomorrow afternoon. Lots of sunshine. That is not changing, but a northwesterly wind will make its presence felt. Now, the next round of rain will come in tail end of Sunday, more so into Monday. We'll have a few rain showers show up late Sunday evening. Out of that area of low pressure you're seeing back towards Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. That system will move over the east again, more so Monday morning into Monday afternoon, but a few raindrops could show up a little bit earlier than that, possibly arriving by the time we get to Sunday evening to Sunday night. It's not a great chance of rain on Sunday, but at least want to mention it. Again, Monday is looking like the wetter of the day, 63 degrees for your Monday after spending this weekend, again, right around the mid-60s, 64, 65 degrees. And then we get warm again on Wednesday ahead of a cold front that will knock us back down again. 65 on Tuesday, 71 on Wednesday, and then we cool back down into the low to mid-60s for the following Thursday and Friday, with overnight lows returning to the upper 30s. Thursday night into Friday morning, we'll see those similar temperatures show up later tonight into tomorrow morning. That's all we have time for today's noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Halloween. We'll see you back here at 1 o'clock.